guys!
Hey guys!
We're back with another comic book review. In this video, we're reviewing The Walking Dead, issue 154, titled Led to Slaughter, and Outcast, number 18, titled There Is No Escape. If you haven't read these comics yet, and you want to avoid any spoilers, skip this video and come back later because everything we say from this point forward is going to be a spoiler. Okay, starting off with The Walking Dead, issue 154, titled Led to Slaughter. It felt like kind of a jumbo issue. There was a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, it definitely felt thicker than normal.
The biggest development in this issue is Negan made it to the Whisperers. And he, I don't know, kind of charmed his way into the group just by being himself.
Yeah, I think pretty much. I think he interested them, like he's interesting, and so they're like, oh, we should probably take this guy to Alpha, see what she thinks.
Yeah. He meets Beta, and he's super just like in your face and obnoxious, and I think Beta really expects Alpha to kill him.
Yeah, maybe.
I think Beta really is just like, you know, I'm going to take you to the leader, and you're going to regret this whole thing, and it's going to so backfire on Beta.
Yeah, and I still don't know Negan's game because he goes in and he's like, I'm just passing through. I didn't come here. I just wandered in. I just need a place to sleep, and you know, say I'm I'm a joiner. I'm a joiner. Where's your pledge? I'll sign it. You know, like
he's like, I'll pledge all day.
Yeah.
Do we get to pick our own skin suit? Because I need one with extra room in the crotch.
But he doesn't say he's from Rick's group,
Nope.
and he doesn't say that Rick has an army that he's training. So I still don't know what Negan's end game is.
I had the feeling before this issue that Negan wanted to overthrow Alpha and take over the Whisperers. But this last panel, he walks up to her and he's like, I'm Negan, and I'm in love. Like, it's love at first sight for Negan. Maybe. Is it really?
Because you kind of have to take what Negan says with a grain of salt, because sometimes he just talks out his ass.
And sometimes he just says what he thinks people want to hear.
Yeah.
Like, he is a master manipulator.
Yeah. So, his end game, still don't know.
Yeah. It's going to be super fun to find out, though. Also in this issue, Michonne and Aaron, they're hot on Negan's trail, and they run into Beta, and they're like, look, we don't want to hurt you. We're just trying to catch this fugitive. We don't want to hurt you. And Beta takes advantage of that desire, and he stabs Aaron in the gut.
Yeah.
And that does not bode well at all.
No, it certainly doesn't.
Aaron didn't die in this issue, but I'm looking for him to probably die from blood loss or something and turn in a future issue.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably even 155. I don't think Aaron's going to make it, because they were talking about Jesus and how Aaron's kind of interested in Jesus, but not really, because Jesus is stringing Alex along. So just that conversation and then Aaron getting stabbed, I'm like, okay, Aaron's probably going to die.
Yeah, and he's finally away from his dad for the first time. He's not going back. No, he's liking his freedom. Yeah,
and he's got a girlfriend, and they're together, and yeah, he's happy being out on his own, being his own man, and it's really interesting. Him and Maggie have a super brief conversation where he says, you know, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm an adult now, and she's like, yeah, you really are. And then I get the feeling it's kind of under his breath. He's like, yeah, I have been for a while. Like, what was that, like a, hey, I just got my shmoo on with Lydia and I'm a man, she made a man out of me? Or was he saying, no, you know, I've been holding my own for a really long time. It's time people recognize that.
Yeah.
And finally in this issue, Andrea gets back to Alexandria and she sees the propaganda on the walls and she is about to lose her mind. She busts in on Rick and she's like, what the hell have you done? Oh my God, what happened to your face? And so Rick has to catch her up on everything that's going down. Because when she passed Maggie in the wilderness, Maggie didn't know that Negan was out.
Yeah.
She left before he escaped.
Yeah. And I like Rick's last line in this issue was, I became a leader, or I became a great leader, or something.
Became a better leader.
A better leader. I think this is another sign that he's moving more towards a Negan-type dictatorship.
Yeah, I get that vibe too. Last issue, it seemed like he was regretting the direction that he was moving, but now it's like he almost
It's like he's accepted it.
like he's doubling down on it now. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I still feel like we're gearing up for Rick's death.
Yeah, I concur.
Finally, we kind of find out who's on the other end of the radio with Eugene, and we find out it's a female named Stephanie, and we got no sense that it was a female before.
Yeah, they kept it pretty gender neutral in conversation so that not hearing it, we had no idea if it was male, female, child, adult. We have no idea who this person is. But now we at least have a clue. It's Stephanie. And I still think it's one of the Whispers.
I think it's probably one of the Whispers.
Yeah. If it's not them, I think it's the next big bad that they have planned for the next arc.
I think it's probably the Whisperers gathering intel on Rick's group because Eugene is giving up a lot of information.
It's like everything. We're training soldiers. Everybody's got guns.
We're gearing up for a confrontation with the Whisperers. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's so scary. People wearing
terrifying.
skin suits. Oh my goodness. Like she's really stroking Eugene's ego.
Yeah, she is playing him.
And playing like the fearful damsel almost. I'm like, all right, I bet you she's a Whisperer.
Yeah, that's my number one guess. My top guess is that she is a Whisperer and she's gathering intel.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to Outcast number 18, There's No Escape. This was very heavy on character development and then a huge plot turn at the end. Yeah. This was a fantastic issue.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming, but we finally found out exactly what happened with Allison and Amber. Kyle kind of took the fall for what happened, but no, Allison was possessed and was beating Amber.
Yeah, and Kyle took the fall because he thought it was his fault she became possessed.
Yeah.
And he found out recently that it wasn't his fault because he is not the only outcast. So is Amber.
Yes, and it's hereditary.
Yes.
Like he's talking to the Reverend, and he's like, God gave you both disabilities. He's like, God didn't give us anything. This is hereditary. It's genetic. And I really liked that line because Kyle, despite everything that he has seen, he still is not all in on this as a spiritual battle, really.
Yeah. And we get a small development on the merge that's going to be happening. Yeah. They're all gathering together. Like every day that they're here on Earth, they're dying a little bit more. They're becoming a little bit sicker, and so they almost have like a injury camp at war where they're all just lined up on structures in like a room because they're all dying.
Yeah, they're all getting really sick. They're not doing well, and they have kind of, like you said, almost like a triage center or something.
Yeah.
Mark and Megan got a lot of development in this issue too. Megan has something going on with her mom. It always kind of felt like she came from a very unstable family, but she hates her mom.
Yeah.
Like way hate.
And enough so that he also hates her mom.
Yeah.
Like he's like, look, I'll talk to her. We're keeping this. But basically, because they don't really have a choice, he needs a ramp to get up into the house, and it's there, so why take it down? But then he's like, get the fuck off my property now.
Yeah. He's like, thanks, but go.
Yeah.
And so I gotta wonder what happened between Megan and her mom.
Yeah.
Because holy crap.
Yeah. And we also get from Mark that he's kind of scared of Megan. Like, he understands what happens, and he tells her, look, I understand that what happened. It wasn't you. You were possessed, but I'm terrified.
Yeah.
So he's kind of scared of her.
Like, she wants to move the bed downstairs, and he's like, no, we can't put the bed in the dining room. Like, just trying to make another excuse not to do it.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I can't. I'm not sleeping for the rest of my life without you. And he's like, no, look, I'm scared of you.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you talk about a marriage, that's huge. But the biggest development in this issue, Sydney kidnapped Kyle, whacked him over the head with a brick, and threw him in a closet.
Because apparently what he's been doing when he's been exercising, for lack of a better word, these possessions out of the people, it's hurting the merge. Mm-hmm. It's making it harder on them. So he's like, well, I couldn't get him to stop using the reference, so we'll just kidnap him.
And Sydney, in his little monologue, when he's talking to the other possessed people, the other demons, I guess, he calls Kyle our Outcast. And I think there's something significant about that.
Yeah.
Maybe Kyle is kind of possessed as well, only with something else or something.
Yeah, like he's significant to their merge, which kind of lends us to believe that Amber is significant to a whole other group's merge, not this group.
Because Sydney calls it a grand merge, which implies that maybe there are other smaller merges going on as well, and then the whole would be the grand merge.
Yeah, is we don't have a whole lot of information on this merge thing or the Outcasts, but if it's hereditary, and that would mean that it's, you know, every generation has one, which if the merge thing is something that happens every generation, then it would be separate merges.
We really don't have very much information as to what exactly is going on. We're 18 issues in, and we have a remarkably small amount of info.
Yeah.
So it's a very slow burning comic. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for this video. If you've read The Walking Dead 154 or Outcast number 18, we would love to know what you thought of them. Let us know down in the comments. Also, if you caught something in those comics that we missed, again, let us know. If you enjoyed this video, tell us by leaving a like on it and subscribe for more reviews.
And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.